All right, welcome everyone to the first ever Bluefield College Coaches Show. Thanks for coming out, and thank you. Very excited to be here, and thanks to our new AD, Tanya Walker, for pushing this initiative, and we're just really excited to get this underway and have Dewey Lusk as our first ever guest. And just a quick reminder that this Friday is Athletics Giving Day, so if you want to learn about giving to Bluefield College Athletics, head on over to bluefield.edu/riseuprams. And now we're going to just bring in the head coach now in his third season here at Bluefield College, Dewey Lusk, everyone. Let's give him a round of applause. And, Coach, thanks for being our first ever guest. Do you actually feel pretty honored to be the first ever guest here? I know it's a very historic occasion.
I feel very honored, and anytime I can sit beside you, you do such a great job. It's an honor and a privilege, and I thank you very much.
That means a lot to me, Coach. And, after we just kind of compliment ourselves here, let's just get on over to football. You had a scrimmage on Saturday against Hampton-Sydney. What were your big takeaways?
Well, we played very well. I'm glad we got to scrimmage because a lot of the young kids got to get some of the jitters out, and hopefully that'll help going into Saturday's game with Faulkner. Hampton-Sydney did not bring any freshmen.
Wow.
So it was all upperclassmen. Of course, we took about 85 kids and played every one. And
right.
It was a very, even, good scrimmage, and I think it helped both sides. And Marty Favret, the head coach there at Hampton-Sydney, been a good friend for several years. And we had a good time and came away with a good experience. I think we got a quarterback.
Right. That was my next question.
And I know that would be your next question because it's a lot of people's questions. But Aiden Wilder played extremely well. He can run. He can throw. And, right now in the scrimmages that we've been having, our own scrimmages and with Hampton-Sydney, we're blowing quick whistles. So, he's ready to play real where the whistle's not being blown at the line of scrimmage because right. the young man can run and obviously throw. But, the best thing about Aiden, he's got an opportunity to be a really good quarterback, but he's even a better person and a great leader. So we're very excited and very fortunate to have him in our program here at Bluefield.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about him? Because he's actually a senior, and Bluefield College isn't his first ever school.
No, he started out at Portland State and redshirted there and played a little bit in his sophomore year or second year. Then went to Linfield, a really top-notch Division III program in Oregon, and he graduated. He's got 1 year of eligibility left, and he's working on his master's degree now here at Bluefield. And so 22, 23 years old, coming in with great experience, just a natural leader, good person, and I'm glad he's going to be with us this year.
Well, the backfield is always changing, whether it's the quarterback. I think this is your third different starting quarterback in game one since you've been here. Does that present a sort of challenge at all, or is that something you're used to?
Well, if you can become fortunate enough to have a 4-year starting quarterback, you're probably going to have a pretty good football team that junior and senior year. Just trying to find the right person to lead your football team, and sometimes you have to play 2 or 3 folks to figure that out. So hopefully this year, going in, we know who our guy is, and excited about that. Now, I must also say Bryce Verbal has played very well in fall camp here, summer camp, and done a good job. And another really fine young man, and Will Bailey out of Alabama, a true freshman. He's done well too. So right now we've got 3 capable quarterbacks, but it's going to be real exciting to be able to watch Aiden this Saturday.
Now, focusing on the backfield again, running back is a position that has been a question for Bluefield College going into 2019. Malik Brown transferred to Winston-Salem State, so it's really just an open position now for Bluefield College. What can you tell us about the running back position?
Well, the staff's done an excellent job in recruiting. We've got some young freshmen that are talented. We've got one that runs extremely well from Tampa Tech, Xavier Freeman. He's very fast. And I'm going to tell you the surprise in the bunch.
All right.
Jordan Huntley
Wow, a baseball player here at Bluefield College.
Jordan Huntley. Hadn't played in 4 years, been playing baseball. I have to keep him straight. All I got to do is call Coach Mike White, and that keeps him straightened out there. But Jordan has come out there, great attitude. Once again, an older kid, a senior, and just enjoying having him out there, and I think he's enjoying it as well. But we're looking for some good things out of him. He's just an athlete, and you could see that in baseball.
Right.
We also have a young man from North Carolina, Caleb Gipson, and Caleb has just been a tremendous surprise. And he's got great vision. He's got quick feet. He understands what we're trying to do, and he's done a good job. We've got Tavis White, who's back for his second year, was a redshirt last year. He's from Statesville, North Carolina, and he's doing a good job. And we've got another young man from Alabama, Cameron Wright, that's doing well. And there's some talented kids back there.
Sounds like a whole staple.
Well, we're excited about them. And Saturday they got their feet wet in the scrimmage, so that was good. And hopefully it won't be as big a shock going into this first game down in Montgomery, Alabama.
Well, it seemed like a shock, unfortunately, for some offensive linemen last year. You ran into a rough situation where every one of your offensive linemen, and I believe in most of the games, all of your defensive linemen were also all freshmen. Has the offensive line situation improved going into this year?
Oh, without a doubt.
Right.
It's going to be a strong point. And some of those guys are sophomores. And then we also were able to recruit some transfer kids last January coming in at the break. And we've got a local young man that's going to be starting at guard, Cole Carter from Graham High School. So we're excited about that. Of course, we've got McLean Kirkley back at center. After playing last year, Julian Martin, Big Joe Hayner. I mean, he's doing a nice job. And there's a couple freshmen in that bunch that's doing extremely well. We've got Tyler Kreislieb from Mainland High School down in Daytona that's doing a good job. And there is a big young man, side of the mountain, super smart, Tim Weldon. And he's doing a really nice job as well. So we've got some youth in there, but we also have some experience. Andre Davis transferred in here from Winston-Salem State and actually coached his father at Gardner-Webb.
Oh, wow. Is that how you made
80s.
the connection?
Uh-huh. And I tried to recruit him out of high school. He was at L.C. Byrd in Richmond, and he decided to go to Winston-Salem State. And after he got down there and, things happened.
Right.
He called. And so I actually got to see his dad when he brought Andre last January, and I hadn't seen him since 1987, 88.
And you remember that? That's 32 years ago. Good for you.
Well, when you recruit a lot of kids, you better remember.
Right.
But yeah, it's going to. Our offensive line is going to be much improved, and at least walking out there day one, opening day, it's not going to be all 18-year-olds sitting there looking back at you and wondering what's going on. I think one of our strengths on offense, besides offensive line, is going to be our wide receiver core.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. You have Antonio Strickland coming back, Lowell Patrone. Those guys, between them, they had 11 touchdowns. You're losing Theo Black, but Strickland and Patrone, very, very talented wideouts, as well as Jaquan Ebron. He's coming back as well.
All three of those kids can flat play. They can run. They run great routes, and they're a pleasure to have out there. And then when you've got a couple good quarterbacks able to get them the football, we're really excited about that. And Coach Ketchum has come in as our offensive coordinator, and he's running a RPO deal, a run pass option, and so. It really, we never call a play action pass out there because there's a chance of a play action pass every time. And Aiden's done a really nice job reading that. And what we like, what I like, and I know Coach Ketchum likes about it, It gives us an opportunity to spread people out, be able to run the football, and also vertically stretch them down the field because we like to throw the ball down the field, especially with those cats that can run.
I mean, absolutely. Antonio Strickland, such a deep threat. He had a 75-yard touchdown. I believe it was against Kaiser. Unfortunately, that was a loss. You guys are losing Jeff Hughes, but you guys are also bringing back a lot of talent. But speaking of bringing back a lot of talent, one of the guys that is very talented is here today, DaMarcus Wimbush, part of that big defense, first ever All-American in Bluefield College history. Let's give him a hand. He'll be joining us very, very shortly. What can you tell us about the defense and working with Dino Kaklis, your buddy that's been your third-year defensive coordinator?
Well, we were also together at UVA Wise.
Right.
Yeah, and he does a tremendous job in the weight room, on the field. I always tell folks when they ask, what do you all do? And I said, well, we clean the field house, we clean the commodes, we do the weight, and Dino's done it all. And we're very fortunate between Coach Ketchum, myself, and Coach Kaklis. Those are three guys who have been college head coaches.
Right.
And then Coach Ketchum's been an athletic director. I always say, between all of us, we have 100 years of college experience, which we're very fortunate to have those kind of folks with that kind of experience coaching these kids. And but you can't say enough. Now, Coach Kaklis, he'll probably get me here when I get up, but he's going to growl at you a little bit.
Okay.
But he's going to love you, too.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty part about it. He demands a lot of that out of those kids, and he gets it out of them. But our defense is always good. They're stingy and get to the football, and that's what he expects. And, if you think we're just going to sit back and wait for it to happen, no, we're going to blitz and we're going to bring it. We're going to create things and make things happen. And that's the kind of style of defense we want to play. We want to be aggressive. And but DaMarcus Wimbush, our linebacker core is going to be very, very strong.
Wimbush, Kolb.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Logan Hinnett is actually shifting over to defensive end.
Defensive end. And I think DaMarcus will tell you about Logan Hinnett that he can play any position on the field. And I'm looking at him because they're always arguing about who the best athlete is out there. But Logan is a tremendous young man, and although Logan would like to play linebacker, he knows we need him at defensive end, and he's a team player, and that's what he's going to do to help us. So that's huge. And, of course, got Michael Everett coming back as well, and just Carter Fry. I'm going to tell you, Carter Fry's had one heck of a camp.
Wow.
And done a nice job. Up front on the defensive line, we've got Sarge, Colin O'Donnell coming back at the nose guard, and he does a great job. Not only does he do a great job playing because he's going to give you everything he has, he's helped us in recruiting. He's there every Saturday early in the morning. He's helping us to give tours and doing whatever it takes. If you need something from Sarge, he's going to be there, and he's one of our top leaders. And that's one reason why I'm very excited, not just because we have some talent, but we have some really good kids and we have some really good leaders. And that's what it takes to win. And but DaMarcus Wimbush and Sarge, you can't find, and Logan Hinnett, better young men and better leaders than those guys. But right beside Colin, you got DeAndre McLaughlin. And Logan on the defensive line. I'm going to tell you what, another young man that's done well in camp is Logan Patrone, Lowell Patrone's brother. He has done a really nice job this year, and we're excited to have the Patrone brothers with us. And then in the secondary, we're returning Jonathan Green, Greg Amos, and Tyrese Henry. They're doing a very good job.
We had to give a shout-out to Tyrese Henry as well as Logan Hinnett. We talked about it last week. They were actually named to the NAIA Senior Classic.
That's exactly
I think that's
right.
the first time that's ever happened in Bluefield College history. So that also deserves a round of applause. But, yeah, your secondary coming back, a lot of experience there. You already mentioned Tyrese Henry, Greg Amos. You got Charles Cox coming in from a JUCO in California. Jonathan Green. I know I'm probably leaving somebody out because this team is so big.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of kids out there, and I'm sure we'll probably leave a name or two out by accident. Another interesting little fact is in the secondary, we've got the Banks brothers, and they're twins, and they're identical.
Wow.
Okay? And I was trying to ask Coach Cackless, I said, I don't know how we can tell them apart. They could probably mess with us. And one's playing safety and one's playing corner, but they look exactly alike. They're from Ottawa High School down in Chattanooga.
Oh, Chattanooga, okay, Tennessee.
And just really great kids. And their grandfather does a great job of taking care of them. And so when we were recruiting them, he came up and introduced himself to me, okay? He said, "How you doing, Coach? My name's Marvin Smith." I said, "I will never forget your name." And he looks at me and he goes, "Why?" I said, "Because my brother-in-law, Millie's oldest sister's husband, his name is Marvin Smith."
Oh, wow.
So he came around the corner to sign in. I said, "How you doing, Mr. Smith?" He said, "You were right. You didn't forget my name." So just a tremendous young man. But those are the kind of kids we had. And Dr. Olive, I think in his email, he kind of alluded to it today. He said there's a special feel about this class, this group, not just the football team, but the entire class. But seem to be really nice kids and working hard, and that's what winners are made of. So we're excited with this bunch.
And we'll have to see how it works out this weekend. Going to Faulkner. Just got the note that we're leaving at 5 in the morning on Thursday.
5 in the morning.
So that'll be a fun trip to Hardee's for me. But what do you make of the Faulkner Eagles?
Well, we just now got the two deep. We've been waiting all day, so we've been trying to piece it together. And the one thing that makes it very difficult, their head coach was a coordinator last year at Faulkner, offensive, I believe, for his brother. Well, his brother resigned in January. He took over as the head coach. He's hired an entire new staff.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're not quite – we think they're still going to be spread. We think they're going to be 4-2, but we're not sure. But that's not all bad, because we have to get ready for a little bit of everything.
Right.
And if you've got an experienced quarterback and some experienced – your quarterback on defense, linebacker, DaMarcus Wimbush, we'll be ready. And we need to play – best thing that happened, like I said earlier, was being able to get out and scrimmage a little bit. So the kids are chomping at the bit. They'll be ready this Saturday. And Faulkner is traditionally a very talented team, very fast. It will be hot down there. We'll have to play a lot of people. We've tried to simulate that heat here in the air-conditioned city. But that's tough to do. We had a lot of, afternoon practices. But we'll be ready. A lot of folks, we're going to drink a lot of water and a lot of Gatorade, and here we go. So can't wait to get started.
Other than the hydration, what are the other keys to the game to win this one?
I say it every week, and you sound, or I sound like, I'm just repeating myself, but it's true. The team that makes the fewest mistakes and how you handle adversity when it happens, you're going to win the football game. And when we talk about that with the kids all the time. And so hopefully, and I think it's happening, some of these leaders are going to be able to back that up and help us with the younger kids on that. And cool heads prevail. So
right.
That's what we have to do, and let the athletes play.
Yeah.
Let them play, and we've got some fast kids out there, and see what happens.
Well, Coach, thank you so much. Another round of applause for Dewey Lusk, the first ever guest on the Bluefield College Coaches Show.
Thank you, Bailey.
So DaMarcus Wimbush, if he wants to come on and slide on in here, first ever athlete guest. Well, DaMarcus, if you guys don't know, is the first ever Bluefield College All-American. He was named that in his sophomore season, and he's returning for his junior year. And, folks, another reminder, we will not have this next week on Labor Day. We have a soccer game on that day, so we're going to look to come back here in 2 weeks. And another reminder that all Bluefield College students, 10% off their meal with a presentation of a student ID. So just making sure we don't trip up and lay an atomic bomb to our setup here. Come on in, DaMarcus. Yeah, we should be good. Scoot on in, man. All right, DaMarcus Wimbush, everybody. Big round of applause for the linebacker. Scoot on in a little bit more. All right, so we already asked Coach Lusk, how did the scrimmage go for you?
It went very well. We had a lot of the freshmen come in and step up and show how they can provide for this team and on the defense. I think we're going to be pretty good come Faulkner.
And we talked a little bit last week, and I kind of want to get more into your personal story on how you came to Bluefield College, and you seem pretty excited to tell us about it. So how did you get down here to the two Virginias?
My senior year, I actually cracked my fifth metatarsal in my left foot, and I didn't really get to play that much my senior year in high school. But I was coaching a game, basketball game against one of the Bluefield old coaches' sons, and he asked my manager, "Do I play football?"
Right.
And I was like, "Yes, I do." And he's like, "Send me a film." And once I sent him my film, he was like, "Hey, you might want to come visit Bluefield or something." I said, "Okay." And that was Coach Everson. And so, oh, my bad. I thought I was talking loud. I sound hot. I don't know.
But just speak up a little bit. That'd be great.
Okay.
Get this a little bit closer to your mouth, too.
Can everybody hear me?
A little bit better? How's that?
Okay.
All right, great,
Good deal.
everybody.
And once I sent him this film, I was like, I came up here for a visit and everything. I was like, I like it up here.
Yeah.
So I came up here. I played a little bit. I showed everybody what I had. And I think the first game we played Pikeville here, the third quarter, I broke my fifth metatarsal in my left foot.
Wow.
So then I went down, and then it kind of put me in a shock, like, oh, man, I might not be able to play football anymore. So the doctor told me, he was like, we can do something, but it's a 50-50 chance, and it might work, it might not. So he said, okay, I'm going to put this screw in here. I was like, a screw in my foot. I was like, oh, man. So then he put the screw in. I did all my rehab and everything, and I had to trust my trainers and trust my foot that it would be able to hold up and be able to cut, plant, and do all this stuff when I'm tackling. And I went over the summer, and then the new coaches came in, Coach Calculus and Coach Lusk and everybody came in. And I had to show everybody what I was made about and see if I still could play. And pretty much what happened was I got my shot at Southeastern. I think Coach Calculus gave me a chance to be out there on the field. So then I showed him what I could do, and then I ended up starting by Georgetown. And then from there on, I became the football player I am today.
That's a lot of stuff to go through. Did that change how you prep for games as a player?
It did. I had to do different things for taping-wise for my foot and being able to do rehab and be able to strengthen up my leg again because it got weak on me.
Right. So what's the chemistry like on this team in 2019?
We got a lot of veteran linebackers and a lot of guys that know the material to be able to help these freshmen come along. So once we leave here, they'll be able to take our spots, and it would be like nothing ever happened.
Right.
And we also got the veteran safety, Tyrese Henry, back there helping the DBs out. Also Jonathan Green and Greg Amos. And on the D-line, we have we call him Sarge, but his name is Colin O'Donnell. And so it's a lot of veterans on the team, so it'll be a lot easier for the defense.
You know, we talked about this last week, and I just want to reiterate it for the folks here at Applebee's. What was it like for you when you got that call and got the notification that you're going to be the first ever Bluefield College football All-American?
It was a big-time honor. You know, I called my mom and my dad and told them the good news and everything. And I didn't even know until my girlfriend Savannah, she told me, she was like, you know, you got the All-American Award. I was like, what are you talking about? And then once it showed me, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And I was a big-time honor. I thank all my family for being behind me and all the coaches for giving me the opportunity to be on the field. And all my guys, I couldn't have done it without my defense, though. So,
and a lot of them are here.
Yes, they are.
You got a good support system with this Bluefield College group.
Yes, sir.
So we're moving into Faulkner, and I want to kind of get more into specific questions about you. How do you get focused for a game? What's your routine?
My first routine, I eat the same meal before every game.
What's that meal?
It's a sub and some chips, pretty much.
Any specific type of sub?
A
or?
teriyaki chicken with spinach, onions, jalapenos, with onion sauce and light mayonnaise.
That doesn't slow you down at all?
No.
No. Okay. Got you. What type of music are you listening to before the game?
I listen to A$AP Ferg, New Level.
Okay.
And it gets me pretty hyped.
Got you.
And,
I don't think they blare that at Applebee's that much.
No, not too much.
No.
And I try to drink a gallon of water before the game, the day of the game, and half of a Pedialyte.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to close out on a couple of rapid-fire questions here. We're going to close out our first ever BC Coaches Show. All right. Favorite movie?
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
It's probably Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence in it.
Okay. Favorite musical artist?
T-Pain.
T-Pain?
Yeah, I'm old head.
If you were stuck in the wilderness and it's just you and another teammate, what teammate would you want with you so you could survive?
Probably Colin O'Donnell.
Okay.
He has a military background, so I'll probably want him beside me if we stuck.
You're an athlete, but I want to ask you, what's your favorite fast food meal?
Probably Wendy's, the 4 for $4.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat that. Can't beat that at all. Favorite social media?
Probably Instagram.
Instagram?
Yes, sir.
Dream job that isn't football related?
I want to become an occupational therapist.
Okay.
If I can, go to grad school after college if football doesn't work out for me. Do my 2.5 years, maybe 3, to go ahead and get my doctorate and become an occupational therapist.
What's this? Okay, go ahead.
At a clinic and be able to help people rehab and be able to help them out and things like that.
Well, that's awesome. What is your favorite sport that's not football?
So it'd probably be bowling. I like
bowling.
I like bowling a lot.
What do you average? Do you go over 200?
My highest bowl was 190.
190.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm getting there. I'm working on that.
Do you go over to the Mountaineer when you can?
Yeah, me and Logan, we go head to head on.
Oh, really?
bowling
Do you usually win?
most of the time?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, but
right.
sometimes though he do get me though.
All right.
Okay.
Favorite place to play in your college career that wasn't Mitchell Stadium?
My favorite place probably Southeastern
they
in
had
Florida.
Had the big video board and the fire
The
shot
flame
out of the
where you can feel
scoreboard.
it on the field.
Who was a player that you looked to growing up?
Probably Ray Lewis.
Why is that?
Because he was an inside linebacker. He was big, but he wasn't like tall big.
Right.
And he was just a real hard-nosed football player. Some of the guys feared him, and I was like, okay, I want to be that guy someday.
Well, DaMarcus, let's close out here. It is Athletics Giving Day on Friday, and you've been kind of a spokesman for all of Bluefield College, all the Bluefield College athletes. What do you have to say to people that are going to donate on Giving Day?
I appreciate all the support and all the donations for BC Giving. Some of that money goes to the scholarships, and sometimes some people wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the BC Giving Day.
Well, DaMarcus, thank you so much for being our first ever athlete on the BC Coaches Show, and thank you guys all for coming out. That'll wrap up our first ever Bluefield College Coaches Show. Tune in Tell people to tune in on our YouTube page. If they missed it today, it's going to be archived there forever. And until next time, go Rams. Take it easy, Rams fans.